Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Radar jamming engage. You know the deal. Alright, so we're finally getting around to doing the T38 cockpit upgrade. My wife wanted the TV out of the house, the spare one, so we brought it out here, made some room on the table. Had to move some things around, but anyways. So I've already cut off the old canopies. These things were not good to begin with. They were super thin, especially on this side, and kind of wavy and not that great. So those were bad. The interior is okay-ish. I actually handmade these panels. That's white plastic that I painted and then scraped off everything you see in white. So I mean, you know, from a few feet, it looks like ages. And I actually got the seats and the pilot from Andy, who built the other T38 after his crashed. So those have been in there since 2013, 2012. So this is old models around the block, but we have some really sweet parts. So my friend John Weaver, who owns Discount Hobby in San Diego, he actually designed and 3D printed all these parts, not specifically for me. He's going to be building a large T38 himself pretty soon, but basically he developed all these parts. These are all this is all 3D printed, and the colors as well are 3D printed. So I mean, it's got everything. The switch on the side of the throttle, we got circuit breakers and switches. We got the seats have rivets in them and switches. I've put some primer on the seats already, so I got those filled in pretty good. It didn't have the little canopy breaker on the front seats, so I made that out of wood. Got the cushions here. We got a couple of pilots, which are actually a little on the small side for the model, but the next size up was going to be too big, and those were really expensive, so these were expensive enough. So I figured, well, I'll go with these for now. Can always figure something else out later. So anyways, we got a bunch of parts here, and then he also has this is an overlay that you put behind the gauges. So let me show you really quick. Sorry. But basically what you'll do here is you'll put a piece of clear plastic in between the frame and the picture behind it, and that'll give the illusion of the glass. Although this is pretty glossy, it looks kind of glassy as it is. But anyways, that'll go behind a layer of plastic and then the gauges. So you've got those, so that's gonna look sweet. I made a couple of canopies already. The canopies I made are just for this section here, because this is the only really curved section of canopy on the airplane. The front windscreen and the back canopy are basically straight, so I'm just going to make those out of sheet material. And so what I've done here is I've cut out the original canopies, and I got a map of Edwards here. I'm going to keep this section on the model. I'm going to have to remove this, but probably reuse it, and then I'll take this whole floor out, and I got to build an entire tub to hold all these parts. So anyways, that's where we're at so far. One of the things I didn't like about the model originally was that my front canopy was a little too low, and that's because the canopies that I had made were not very good, and the lower sections of them were super thin and like ripply, so I had to trim it way down in order to get it to look halfway decent, and that brought the whole canopy down. So I'm gonna cut this, probably leave this one this size, and then I'm gonna basically expand this front frame a little bit. That's gonna bring this canopy frame up and the whole canopy, and then this will lift up a little higher. I also added a little bit of a bulge to the plug before we made the canopies today. So the new canopies should look really nice. They turned out really well. My friend Eric Brubaker helped me make them. He's got a huge vacuum box that we used. It's the biggest one I know of, and it was big enough barely to fit the plug for this section of canopy. So I got to get all the stuff out of here. I'm hoping to get rid of all the nose weight that I got up front with the addition of all the cockpit stuff. There's not a lot of parts here, but I think once it's all together, it's going to be quite a bit of weight. So I think I have a couple of pounds of lead still in the nose. So I'm hoping to get rid of most of that. Between the cockpit parts and going to K86s in the back, which will reduce some of the weight in the rear of the plane, I can pull more weight out of the nose. So the goal here is to get this whole cockpit done, and the airplane shouldn't be any heavier than it is now. So anyways, let's continue on tearing this cockpit apart. Alright guys, so I got the cockpit all gutted out. I've got some lightweight spackle in here right now. Originally I was planning on putting some Depron foam skins in the side, but after... Oh, it's a good scene. Ooh yeah. After kind of dry fitting everything, the seats and the side consoles, I need as much width as I can get right here, so yeah, I'm just gonna prep the walls here and paint these actual walls, and then the tub will slide in and these walls will be part of everything. So anyways, yeah, that's where we're at. It's all gutted out, and yeah, I thought I'd show you guys the turbines. It's pretty comical. I mean, look at the size of that turbine. So 2 of those, like I was saying, these are really small turbines. So this is 18.5 pounds of thrust out of this. That's pretty crazy. So anyways, 2 of these puppies in there, and push this 50-pound turd pretty good. So like I said, it had Swimwin 80s before. Now it's going to have King Tech 86s. So in theory, another pound and a half of thrust, and hopefully the airplane will actually be a smidge lighter than it was before. So I'll be 12 ounces lighter just between the motors being lighter and then the nose weight coming out of the nose because the motors are lighter. So 12 ounces there, and hopefully I can just remove as much weight as I need to counteract for the cockpit. Granted, the weight isn't all the way forward like the lead is, so it's going to be a little loss there, but shouldn't be too much. So anyways, I think that's where we're going to stop for tonight. Quick video. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow we'll have some more cockpit progress. I'm really hoping to get most of this knocked out tomorrow, and then I can turn my garage is a complete disaster right now. Turn my attention to getting the turbines installed and getting them test runs. So I'm gonna grab it really quick so you guys can see just how ridiculous this is. And I thought the 80s that were in there were really small before. These things are even smaller. So this is how they'll mount. Well, technically it'll mount this way. I need to adjust the turbine and turn it because the connector right here, the label should be on top so it starts properly. But anyways, it'll mount here on these rails. Yeah, 2 of those little baby turbines. And the 80s pushed that thing pretty good, about 170-ish, maybe a smidge more. So it should be just as fast now with just a hair more vertical. So anyways, hope you guys like the video on the T38. A couple little projects we're doing here. This is my GWS C130 that I built with UMX motors and props. It's been hung up forever, and I decided to get it down, clean it up, and get it flying again. I was going to sell it, but it's such a neat model, I think I'm just going to hang on to it. So, at least for now. But anyways, like I said before, moved some stuff around the wall to get everything to fit. I got to do some more organizing. Once I get the T38 project done, I'll do some more cleaning up, but had to move stuff around. But anyways, got everything. And if you didn't see my updates on the community posts, I got the P59 all ready to fly with the main gear completely upgraded as far as the structure goes. And here's a new P47, a little E-flight. So I still have to do a video on that. Fantastic flyer. But yeah, the repairs on this thing turned out really good. You can sort of see some of the airbrushing. I did try and do some weathering to kind of hide everything, but I got everything fixed up. Both sides are now beefed up substantially and upgraded. I did some touch-up painting. It's probably super dusty now, but anyways, P59 is ready to go. It's all been test run, taxi tested, everything's ready to go. So I'm hoping to take the P59 and the T38 out this coming Friday. So that's the goal, get this thing all finished up. Take both those out. Once the T38 cockpit's done, I think I'm gonna concentrate on getting my jet hanger saber finished. So not a whole lot left to do there. I mean, obviously finishing work and stuff has to get done, but you can see the power plant in there. It's got a turbax with a OS 48, and yeah, I'm gonna get it flyable, fly it a handful of times, and then worry about all the finish work. But anyways, that's the next big project, to get that finished and flying. And yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Alpha Mike Foxtrot.